Live from New York. It's Saturday. No, I'm just kidding. It is Saturday night, though.
Oh, it is Saturday night, isn't it?
It's Saturday Night Live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Overboard. I'm your host, Josh Bam Bam Brown, and tonight I'm here with my little brother,
Gabe Brown.
Just thought we would catch up with Gabe tonight and see what all he's had going on, because he actually just revealed some really big news. So tell the folks about it, Gabe.
I just welcomed into the family my son. So Raquel and I were pregnant for like 9 months, and then
I think most people listening are gonna know how it works to have a kid.
Well, you see, when two people love each other very much,
When mommy and daddy love each other.
So my son was born almost a month ago now. And he's already changing. He's already growing up. It is already going way too fast. The more kids you have, the faster time goes. It's unfortunate. It sucks, but it is true. Like, even the pregnancies seem to go fast. And now he's almost out of that, like, newborn stage. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I have a son now. So I have 4 daughters, and now I have a son. And
he was born the 2 days after my birthday.
Yes, which Bam hates.
It's my month.
Right, like, I don't think he hates it, but he does hate sharing his birthdays. So yeah, sorry about that.
No, totally.
It's a little out of my control.
No control over it. No control over it.
Well, a little.
Not really. And I know that you would have been just as happy having another daughter.
Of course.
But you must be thrilled to also be throwing a little boy into the mix.
Well,
because you've been daddy,
girl
dad for so long now.
Well, and that's what I thought too when we got pregnant was, there's always that thing: is it gonna be a boy? Is it gonna be a girl? Of course. And I was almost rooting for a girl. Sorry, Buck, if you're listening. I was almost rooting for a girl because it's like you said, like, I'm a girl dad. I didn't know how it was gonna be raising a son now. That's so different. Like, I'm so used to girls. But then I usually don't talk about my dreams, but I had a dream where the baby, it's pretty important to me. So I guess this is what I'm dreaming about. But I had a dream where the baby was a boy, and I woke up from that, and I was like, oh, wow, like, that was really cool in the dream. But then it hit me like, well, it's not necessarily going to be a boy, and then I didn't want to feel, I didn't want to be disappointed if the baby was a girl, and then later in life be like, yeah, I actually wished you were a boy, sorry, But then we got the news and turned out that he's a little boy.
Did you when you did the ultrasound and stuff like that, did you already know he was going to be a boy, or did you wait until he was born to find out?
No, we knew from the ultrasound. We had a little bit of an ultrasound scare. We went through a few different doctors and stuff to find, one that we both agreed on. And so one of the things that pressed us to get that ultrasound was we had gotten the ultrasounds before, and one of the doctors called us after one of these ultrasounds and was like, well, we want you to see a specialist in Seattle because in none of these ultrasounds have we been able to see key parts of the baby's anatomy. And we're like, all right, what are we talking about? And we haven't seen his brain. We haven't seen half of his face. We haven't seen his spine.
He's a shy little guy.
Yeah. Well, and they say depending on where they are in the uterus, mommy's anatomy, there are a lot of factors. But I mean, that's pretty concerning. Like, when you hear that, in the ultrasound, like, we haven't seen your baby's face, we haven't seen the brain, we haven't seen the spine, so Raquel and I were pretty much freaking out. Like, that night we were...
At what point was this in the pregnancy?
Pretty late on. What were we? Like 20-something weeks, I think. Somewhere in there. And so we were freaking out, we didn't know, what was going to happen, like, or if they weren't seeing those parts because they weren't there, like, what does that mean? Is that is the baby even going to survive at that point? Is kind of like,
right.
we tried not to envision like the worst case scenario, and she's crying a little bit, and I was getting a little emotional, and I was like, well, whatever it is, we'll get through it together. We'll get through it together, because that's really all you can do. In the whole love, marriage, baby game is just do what you can. It's like miscarriages and stuff like that. Is just do, try to get through it all together. It's really hard. Like I'm gonna cry. It's all really hard, and it's all really scary. And when I am gonna cry. Yikes! I didn't expect to cry tonight. Bam! You
Turn
jerk.
into your mother.
Oh no, but it's really freaking stressful. Just between you and I, like the whole thing,
Just
it's
between
been
you and I
really,
and the world.
yeah, I guess. So it's just y'all guys push, no, it was really stressful, and I'm trying to be like strong for Raquel and everything,
Right.
and the kids don't know, the rest of our girls don't know anything, so still have to stay upbeat for them and
Right.
everything, and so then the doctor calls back, and because the one that told us that was like a substitute, and then the doctor that we were normally seeing calls back and it's like, well, we think that they jumped the gun. We don't really think that there's any call for concern. It's probably normal. And we're just like, well, at this point, like, let's see a specialist,
Right.
So Raquel ended up going back to Minnesota and seeing a specialist there. Everything turned out to be good. Everything turned out to be good, and at that point we're like, well, maybe we'll just be seen in Seattle, down where they have like the good doctors. And Raquel, like, I don't know how much Raquel wants me to talk about like the medical side of it, but we had it was a tough one. I'll say that it was a pretty tough one, and so we ended up giving birth a little early, as you know. I think we were 37 in a day or something,
Right.
and as opposed to like the full 40 weeks. And yeah, I was pretty much freaking out, dude. I always try to like stay calm.
Oh yeah, he's always calm.
I tried to. Oh, but when some
He's
stuff's
never
happening,
panicked in
when
a situation.
I don't panic. What do you? I may react, with zeal, but I don't panic. Yeah, definitely not.
He's never panicked. He's just enthusiastically reacted.
We'll go with that. So I was enthusiastically reacting, and no, kind of, yeah, maybe a little. But as you know, I'm a little squeamish when it comes to like needles and
You?
people talking about like surgeries and stuff. Like, I'm fine. Like, I could cut you open. I mean, not you, but a deer or
This
something.
guy has no problem with a lot of stuff in that way, unless you're talking about some kind of medical thing. When it goes from like he would be fine, I think, in like a combat medic sort of way, but when you're in a hospital setting or someone's getting their blood taken or anything like that, like, I can't even talk about this too long right now, or he's gonna just hit the table.
Well, it's one of those things. I've been with people getting like blood draws and stuff like that, and
I was one of them.
and I'm there for like emotional. Yeah, you got like 9 vials or something, and
I had to give you the cup of water.
Okay,
that
dude,
set up
stop.
for me.
No, seriously. I'm like, can I have that water?
Doctor's like, I'm on there getting blood drawn. The doc's like, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, like super, surface wounds and stuff I'm fine with. Like, I get a cut or something like that, or someone's cut, or I could be bleeding out and be just fine. But like needles and stuff, like invasive, like we're gonna shove wires through your body. Like, no. One thing is like,
stuff.
you can do it. Let's not talk about it, which is all we're doing right now. But the talking about it gets to me.
Right. He does not like to
Let's not talk about it. Yeah. So as much as I am doing that. But anyway, so
going through a lot of stuff that Dad went through when he was having to do a bunch of those things, Gabe would have to step out of the room while Dad and I discussed what was gonna happen.
Right. Well, and my thing too is like, I don't need to know every little.
I think that's literally what you told Dad. You're like, I don't need to know.
I don't need to know the nitty gritty of it. Like, hit the highlights. Well, I'm fine with. This is wrong.
Right.
We can fix it. I don't want to know how.
With
No.
your hand, with your hand, with the bolt being put in your hand. How much of that did you get explained to? Or did you just tell him, do what you need to do, don't tell me?
That was kind of fine. It didn't seem that invasive to me. I mean, maybe because it's like partially like mechanic stuff. It's like,
So
you know,
bolts and stuff,
bolts.
you were fine.
Yeah, fine with like
Bolts,
bolts,
wires.
like wires, like that's fine.
Right.
You go talking about needles and tubes. Tubes are different. I can
Right.
handle wires, just no tubes. Like the back of my neck's getting tingly talking about tubes and needles.
Do you need some water?
Take some coffee. Yeah, but anyway, so forget where I was going with that. But yeah, in like medical situations, I tend to want to be explained less. Like just hit the high notes.
Right. Well, you were talking about how difficult that it was a difficult delivery.
Oh yeah, well yeah. So it took a little bit longer than they normally take. And so, you know, she's on the table and I'm there and they have like a curtain up, you know, but with everything going on, like I'm peeking over the curtain.
If I can ask, was it C-section? Was it regular?
It's cesarean, C-section. Yeah.
That's what I thought you had said.
Yes. And
you managed not to pass out?
I didn't pass out.
I'm proud of you.
I didn't pass out. Thank you. And okay, so with Wolfie and Winnie, they were both cesarean also. And so I didn't the oldest two were natural. I don't know how much of this Raquel wants me to tell people, but don't tell her. Don't tell her I told you, babe. If you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Who's gonna watch it?
Right? No, so with both of them, it was cesarean, and beforehand, like I knew, like, well, I don't want to pass out in there, you know, because you hear about things of like, oh, we lost dad, you know.
Right.
So I didn't want to pass out in there. So there are a couple tricks, like keep the blood sugar up, you know, eat something before you go in, that kind of thing. So with Buck though, I was in this like little waiting area while they like get Raquel prepped and everything, and I'm like pacing back and forth. I got all like my doctor smock stuff on, you know, and I asked one of the nurses, I was like, hey, could I get some crackers or something? And they're like, don't do that. What? No. I'm like, no crackers? And she just kind of rushed it. She's probably in surgery or something, you know? Yeah. And like, you know, dads are treated a little bit like a second-class citizen anyway. Because it's like, why is he here? Like, he has no reason to be like, just pet her head and, just, you know, get out of the way. Yeah. Basically, I mean, they were really nice. Like, they're good
Until
team.
You start asking for crackers?
Until you start asking for hors d'oeuvres, yes.
Can I get some crackers and some brie in here? Maybe a fig spread would be nice.
Some fig spread. So I did not have crackers. I drank water out of like the sink where doctors wash their hands.
I'm not sure you're supposed to do that.
I don't think you're supposed to do that. But I did. I was thirsty. I'm like, well, if I can't have crackers, I'm at least gonna go in hydrated.
Had you eaten anything all day?
Oh no. No. Oh well, I lie. There was. No, I don't lie. No, I hadn't eaten anything. I hadn't eaten anything all day.
You probably had
maybe a bag of chips from a vending machine or something.
So you had vending machine chips, probably some coffee, and a little bit of water, and that's all you had in your stomach.
That's it. I mean, not to make it about me, like I had it horrible, but I had it horrible. So I went in there.
Tough on
I went in there. Yeah. I used to tell Raquel all the time during the pregnancy, like I get home from work or whatever, and you know she wasn't feeling it. Just, you know, she was very pregnant, wasn't feeling incredibly well, and I had this joke that I'd be like, babe, you have no idea what my body is going through right now. She just Jedi me. It was good. It was funny. But yeah, no, huge respect, obviously. Like, but I think girls are lucky to be able to like carry the baby. Like, I think that would be cool.
I know you would probably volunteer to do it if you could.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. You know,
weirdo.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, what a special thing. Like,
Right.
I mean, not enough people, I think, talk about that. Like, what a special thing. Like, it's so awesome.
Right.
You know, it's so cool. Like, I know you wouldn't carry the baby, but
definitely.
it's but it's a cool thing.
Very
It's
glad
a beautiful.
I'm a guy.
Yeah, I mean, me too. But it's a beautiful thing. There's nothing like it. And I can already tell that like the bond between Buck and Raquel is gonna be like a super I hope so anyway, is gonna be like a super special bond. I told her at one point, I'm like, with everything you went through on this one, he better love the dickens out of you.
So
But
back
no,
on
he's
back on the delivery room thing though. Were you getting to that you did like pass out?
no, I didn't. I made it the whole time. After a certain point, like she was in there for a while. You know, they were doing their thing for quite a while, and no, didn't pass out. It got to be almost normal. I was like, well, we're just chilling in the operating room apparently. You know, these people are running around and just smelling searing flesh, and you know, it's just like we're just chilling. We started talking about bills. Oh, which is horrible. It was kind of helping take her mind off of it too, you know, her mind off of it.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, then he was born, and such a cute little guy. Oh, he like peed on like the window thing though. Like he came out peeing. He was like,
He's definitely your son.
Hey!
His territory all over the place.
Yeah, which I thought was hilarious. But and then he cried, but he didn't cry like that big yell that they're supposed to do, you know. He was kind of quiet, and so he had a little residual fluid in his lungs, which can happen, you know, with especially with cesarean, because natural birth, they get like a squeeze coming out, and that can help get everything out of the lungs. And
also, he's a little early.
He was a little early, and so though he was developed, he had that liquid in his lungs, and since he's early, he ended up going to the NICU, which. You know, I've heard about like the NICU and stuff, and like I kind of thought I understood like what the deal was with it.
Bear had to go through that.
Yeah, and NICU's really hard on the mothers, because
not when Bear was born. When Bear.
No, yeah, with Bear's sons. I think 2 of them were in the NICU, but the hard part is, or the hardest part, you know, seeing it from my side that I would see, is that you know, natural birth, they don't have to go to NICU, everything's good, like, you know, baby comes out, mommy gets baby. NICU, like, they, you know, handed her the baby for a second, and it was like, all right, now we gotta go take care of the baby. Right. And so baby and I went to, you know, Buck and I went to a room in the NICU, and they hauled Raquel off upstairs to postpartum for her to, you know, get better. Right. And so baby's being treated downstairs, Raquel's being treated upstairs. That's got to be hard. You know, that's the hardest thing that I saw.
Well, different was just recovery to that kind of delivery as well.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ball game.
It is. And the NICU is a scary place. It's, you know, it's a great place because of all the wonderful things that they do, but it's also a really scary place to be. Like, I remember first night we were there, you know, Buck and I in the NICU, you know, he's in this, like, I called it a bread basket. That's kind of what it looks like, you know. Right. You probably, you know, see in movies or whatever, you know, it's like the little dome thing, and they have, like, baby in there, and there are, like, areas where they can put their hands in and do what they need to do. And he didn't have a lot wrong with him, you know. He just had a little bit of, like I can imagine what some families are going through. Because first things first, like, that first night, there was, like 6 or 8 doctors in there, and they were all, you know, and nurses, and they were just going around him and, you know, yelling orders at each other and being like, check the, you know, 110 on the 5-9, and the, you know what I mean, like jargon I don't even understand. You know, I caught diaper in there somewhere, but that was about it. Right. So they're just basically doing their thing, you know, and everything's a well-oiled machine. Reminded me of, like, ants or something. Like, they all knew, like, exactly what they were doing, and that gives you a lot of confidence right there. Like, you know, and they do this all the time. And so all that kind of settled down. You know, the doctor came in with, I think, another, like, practitioner or something, you know, and they kind of went over what the plan was, what was wrong, what was going on. And then I slowly got updates about Raquel, too, because the floors, you know, they communicate with each other, but they're not, like, just, you know, right there telling me everything. So it was a little scary. And then ended up meeting a bunch of families from the NICU. So the NICU is, it's its own floor, and then it has like the different rooms with the different patients. And then what you don't really think about is like the families of all those patients. And there was a family that had been in there for months, since like June, and he was delivered in September. So like they've been in there since June. I mean, that's a long time to be in the NICU. You think of NICU is like just a little while and then you're out. Not for some families. And I couldn't believe the resilience in a lot of the people there, a lot of the mothers and the families there. They're really great people. We definitely bonded with a lot of them. You get like this camaraderie when you're there, And I didn't find it until some of the last days that we were in the NICU, which as Raquel started getting better, she'd come down and visit,
Right.
But I found a family room. So other than that, like I had been going down, getting what I could from like the cafeteria. They did have a coffee shop there, which
of course you found.
I found that. Tried not to spend a lot of time and money there, but probably bought more coffee than I should have, honestly. But it's like I'm not sleeping. Like I slept a little, but I'm just basically watching the baby breathe. Just which slowly he would get better, and they would move tubes and stuff around and take him out and tell me what like the milestones he needs to do to get released are. But finally found they had a common room. They had a family room, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like a meeting place, And I'm like, family room? Like, is that me? Like, And I went in, and they had, like some free stuff for like families to eat and things. Found some sardines and some cup noodles and some crackers. Yeah. After that, things were a lot better. Right. So I ate all that, and but no, it's a scary place, and I really feel for all the families that are in there and going through that, because like I thought I knew what that was about. Like I was there when Cove was born, and right. I remember them going through that, but it's so different from what you really think. And then we got released, and all is well. And he's adorable. I should have brought him tonight. He could have casted with us. He could have done some Brown Overboard.
Now, how did you decide on the name Buck? Where did the name? I know where the name Buck came from. I actually talked about it a little bit in one of my last episodes. But how did you actually pick the name? How did you decide Buck? And also, do you want to tell us his full name?
So the name was quite an ordeal. First, little backstory. With like Wolfie and Winnie, their names came so quick, so effortless. So just that's what it was. We bounced around a little bit, but by the time it started getting close, it was like, oh yeah, Winifred, like that's great. With Wolfie, her real name's Sophia, and I was like, oh, Sophia, like that's good. She loved it. I loved it. We both loved it. It was great.
Now, did you
with
realize,
Buck, dude?
Gotta cut in. Did you realize that Winifred was a family name at the time?
I had remembered later that wasn't part of the reason, but it hit me before she was actually born. Yeah, well, I had it in the back of my mind. I was like, Winifred, because I remember when Winnie ate a berry, Winnie ate a berry, something like that.
There's actually more than one Winifred in the family tree.
Really? Okay, so that's the one I had remembered though, and I thought for some reason she was Grandma's sister, but I think she's actually on the other. She's on the Brown
she
side,
was on the
isn't
Brown
she?
Side.
Okay, that's what I thought, because Grandma was actually a Clemens.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Or no, she was a married Clemens. She was a Rhino.
That's right. She married into the Clemens. Yeah. She started a Rhino, married into the Clemens.
Right. Yeah. But no, I didn't. That's not the reason. Like, it did hit me. Right. But I couldn't even remember if it was. If her name was Winifred. Right, I thought that might have been the case. And then I remember telling Mom, and she was like, "Oh, it's a family name, baby." Yeah, but with Buck, no, we threw names around. Like, we probably considered every name in the phone book. Really? Literally. Like, we were online.
You're going down
well, we were online at all the, like, possible baby names, and they were like old English names, and we were like Scottish names, something Gaelic, nor well, we had been thinking about it since before we even knew he was a boy.
Right.
We would at that point we were throwing around girl and boy names, but by the time we knew he was a boy, I was like, all right, he's a boy. Let's get this puppy named. And we just kept throwing things around. She'd say one thing, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna be made fun over in school."
Yeah,
people,
you're
you know what I mean?
That whole thing of like, well, it can be shortened to this. This is a nickname. That
right.
With that. This is what those kind of people get called.
Right.
Like,
right.
Is what the kids at school are gonna call him.
Right. You don't want people to call him laxative.
If he plays Xbox Live, that won't go well.
Right. It's like I'm like, I want him to be named something that sounds kind of like his, could be a superhero name, right. And we had some really cool ones that I liked.
I was surprised he didn't get named Clark, to be honest.
Clark is one of those, Clark is one we threw around.
Fan?
Dude, after I said that about superhero names, she went down the freaking list of superheroes. She was like, so Clark was one of them. She was like, Bruce. And I'm like, nah. She's like, Wayne. And I'm like, oh, maybe, Wayne, like John Wayne. And she's like, John. I'm like, I don't know. So I don't know if it was really her being picky with the name or me being picky with the name.
Like it was definitely
it could have been me. Could have been me.
Any of them, it sounds like.
Well, there towards the end.
Right. She was just like, pick a name.
Right, because she would throw one. I'm like, I don't know. But then some of the ones I really wanted, she was like,
that one.
No,
right. It was both of you.
It was. And so we were throwing it back and forth just for the longest time until after he was born. He was born, like, he'd been born for like 2 days before we named him. No, I think it was like the last day we were there. He finally got a name because it got to the point where like, we have to call them something. It was kind of crazy. And when they did a really special thing in the NICU, they would make like a plaque for all the babies, with their name and a little, scene behind it.
It just had a question mark.
Bucks, his didn't have a name. His was just Brown or something.
Right.
He was Mr. Brown for the longest time.
Nothing wrong with that, right?
Hey, yeah, it was Brown. But yeah, then Buck came about. And I remember that day, the sun was up, and we had a really nice room there. It overlooked, we're in Seattle, and it overlooked this little harbor and everything. And I was like, well, I want it to be a really strong name. I want him to have a man's name, and
Spike, Crawl the Warrior King.
Right, something with some pow to it, but then also something that could be kind of sweet. Kind of be cutesy too.
Probably not Crawl then.
Probably not Crawl. What would you, what's his cute? Crawly, that's not bad actually. Dang, I missed that one. No, but it got to that certain point, and I was like, want it to be strong, but also could be kind of sweet. And Raquel was like, well, Buck, and I'm like, I don't hate that. And it's kind of naming him after because I wanted to use like a family name,
Oh, it's a family name.
And yeah, like my middle name is Starbuck. I suggested Starbuck after she said Buck. I was like, well, what about Starbuck? Let's make him a junior. And she was like, no, we're not naming him after coffee. I'm like, I wasn't named after coffee. But
that dang coffee shop.
I know. I can't get away from it. And now it sucks because I love Starbucks.
Right.
So anyway. I could really use a coffee.
Have you ever ordered jumping subjects here, but have you ever ordered a coffee at Starbucks and when they ask for a name, you tell them Starbucks?
I will from now on. I will from now on. I thought about that just to say I've never done that. No, I will from now on. That's my go-to.
You have to.
So who's the order for? Starbuck.
I like to tell them Marco so that when they call out Marco, I go, Polo.
That's hilarious. I love that.
I've always found it funny.
I just envision it as like Marco.
No one's ever paused either. They just write it right on the cup, and when it's ready, they go Marco, Polo.
That is hilarious. I love that. We have to go order coffee together.
Starbuck and Marco.
Oh, it's too good. I love that.
Polo.
But yeah, and then our Uncle Buck. You
of
know,
course.
great
That's what I was
uncle
saying
Buck
on
Brawner.
the podcast about how his name was Buck.
Yeah, Buck Brawner. We grew up hearing a lot of stories about him. You might actually remember him.
I actually do.
Yeah, okay.
I have vague memories of meeting him because he was still around. Buck was still around when Gabe was born.
Yep.
And one of the only times we ever left Alaska, we went down for this guy to be born. I was about 5 years old, maybe a little bit older than 5. And I remember getting to meet Uncle Buck. I remember being in the room. I remember what his voice sounded like. And he was a very, you could tell, he was a very, stern might be the wrong word, but definitely had a strong presence.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that checks out with all this. I heard a ton of stories about the guy. Like, Dad has told us, like, a ton of stories about the guy. Like, one that I like, Dad had just gotten off of the road. He had been hitchhiking and stuff, and, you know, I guess he had gone back to Texas at a certain point, and, you know, because, like Dad always said, you know, where do you go when you don't know where to go? And he eventually went home, and he showed up on Buck's doorstep. Dote was his wife, Dote. So it was Buck and Dote, and he showed up on their doorstep. I guess it was like torrential rain, if I remember right, and he just looked like a drowned rat, and knocked on their door and said at first they barely recognized him, and they're like, Bill? Like, you're so skinny. And I guess Dope, you know, brought him in. You know, Buck was like, Dope, fix him up something to eat, you know. She fed him all night, did fried chicken and gravy and mashed potatoes and all. Dad said he just wolfed it down. And so it told stories about that, and told stories just after that, after they start getting him on his feet. He helped out around the house. You know, he didn't have to, but he'd like repair things and like help out around the place. Which actually we got to stay at that same place when we went to Texas years and years later. But yeah, so he'd fix up the place for him, and eventually he went to work with Buck doing bricklaying. Because Buck was a master mason and would do bricklaying and stuff and work for him, and he got on with another bricklayer dude that I guess was more hours, more work, you know, whatever it was. And actually one kind of gross story Dad had about that guy he worked with. So it was Dad was working with him, and then a friend of Dad's, what was his name? Gary Brawner. No. Yeah, he was a Brawner. Gary Brawner.
Was he?
Yeah. Maybe he was Buck's son. No, Buck didn't have a son.
No, Buck didn't. He didn't.
Nephew or something?
Probably
Cousin or something?
Probably
I guess. I wish I could ask that. Mom might know. Something like that. But I never actually pieced that together because it was like Buck Brawner and then the guy, Gary Brawner, because that's the same
Dad
guy.
Something about cousin.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Because he kept employing people. He kept getting jobs, and I think a couple of them were his cousins.
Okay, that makes it. That checks out. Yeah, because Gary Brawner is who. Maybe it was no relation. I don't remember. Anyway, I digress.
Pretty sure it was a cousin.
Could have been a cousin. But so they were working for this bricklayer, and Dad said this guy was just hot. Like all they had to do was just bring him loads of bricks. They mixed up the mud and made the bricks in huge trowels of like 12 or something like that, or not trowels but like trays, and they bring it into the guy, and as fast as they could get these trays to the guy had his trowel, and he would just just be slamming bricks down all day. And so every second, every third brick or something like that, you have to like cut it in half. And there's like a thing where you like score it and then hit it with a hammer and then get the trowel and do it. But this guy, he'd done so many, he didn't need that. He'd slice it with the trowel, just score it with the trowel, and then whack the end off. And Dad said that this guy was going along, and they'd been working.
Which is not safe.
It's not. Yeah, keep listening. And the guy's going along, and one of the times he does it, he goes whang, and the tip of the trowel breaks off and shoots into the guy's arm. Dad said the guy's like looking at it, and he raised up and he took out the piece of the trowel. Blood shot out the guy's arm. Just like, gross. But
I'm surprised you're the one telling the story.
I can't not, because like this is where the story went, and Dad always told this part, so I gotta tell this part to stay true to the story. And Dad said it was like a fountain, like a gross macabre fountain, and whew, is it getting dizzy in here? But the guy didn't just like stop it. And he said he started at the end and went, I think I need to go to the hospital.
We said actually he let go of it twice.
Right.
Thinking
yes.
it might stop.
Yeah, thinking it was going to
Because he
stop.
said let go of it.
Right.
And they did it again, and they did it. And then he did it twice. And it was the third time he stopped. And he goes, I might need to go to the hospital.
It's so stupid.
He hit the main vein in his arm.
An artery, yeah. Oh,
And those, for people that don't know, those trowels and things they use, they're actually pretty sharp. And they're pointed. They're very
They're
pointed.
thin, too. They're very thin. They're like a putty
Well,
knife,
they're not
you know?
designed to break bricks with.
No. Well, like that, there's a special tool that, like, does it, and then you smack it with a hammer. But, you know, for speed, the guy just did it like that. But, yeah, so that was, like, a lot of the stories that I heard, you know, about Buck was about that time period of him, like, laying brick. And, Dad also said that when he was working for Buck got up at like the butt crack of dawn and you know, would wake up before the sun. Doe would be cooking breakfast, and Dad said Buck would always come to the door and be like, Bill, get up in there, you know, we gotta go to work, get up in there. And Dad said that he would like fake Buck out that he was getting up. He'd like put his leg off the bed and like, I'm getting up. I'd stomp his foot for a few minutes and then like fall back asleep.
Which is funny because I used to do that to Dad when we were on the fishing boats.
Yes.
I'm a night owl. I
Yes.
don't like early mornings and I don't sleep a lot. And Dad would tell everybody to get up, and everybody would start getting up on the boats. And I would just I would just like bang on the wall a little bit or hit it with my foot and be like, I'm up. And then just turn right over and go to sleep. Because I could almost always, since there were so many of us, I could clear almost another hour of sleep before anyone even noticed that I wasn't there.
Where's Bam? I think he's still asleep.
And I've never been a breakfast guy. I never eat when I first wake up or anything.
True.
So I'd get like an extra hour and a half of sleep before anyone would notice that I wasn't around. And then be like, okay, I'll get up now.
It's too good. But yeah, so knowing about Uncle Buck, I thought it was cool homage to throwback. It's a family name.
It's a good strong man's name.
It's a strong name. It's a strong name, and I've always liked it, and I've always liked the stories about like Buck. He seemed like a really cool
You've always
dude.
been a
And
Bucky
Dad,
fan.
oh yeah, very true. And Dad liked the guy too. Mm-hmm. You know, you could tell what.
So you got the superhero in there.
Yeah, Bucky Barnes. Yeah. Well, that's the cute part. Like it's Buck, or like Bucky. It's cute.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of where the name.
And do you want to say
about.
his full name? What's his?
I don't know if Raquel really wants me to say his full name,
How many
date of
names does he
birth,
have?
social security card number. You know what I mean?
Well, does he have a middle name?
He does have a middle name.
What's his middle name? How many names?
I'll never tell.
How many names does he have?
He only has one more.
One more
Brown,
than the middle?
Brown. His Buck blank
Something Brown. Okay.
Yeah. So if we do end up getting the go ahead to say it, I want to ask Raquel. I don't want her. You're like, what's the middle name?
Big secret of the middle name.
I don't know. Do you want to just say everybody's like full?
The whole world knows all our full names.
No,
what are you
that's
talking
true.
about? We're all over Google.
We're all over
nobody
Google.
Nobody can get it straight that Bam is my real middle name. So anyone who's listening, and if you're going to write articles about us, stop putting my name in parentheses.
Stop hyphenating.
You only do that with nicknames. You do not do that with a real name. Bam is my real name. Technically, I have two middle names. They're just both Bam.
At the same time, when you call me Mr. Awesome, be sure to...
in that case, you do put the quotation.
Add that. Nobody calls me that.
No, they don't.
Nobody.
Stop it. Nobody's ever going to nickname you that.
Nobody's gonna call you Mayhem if you keep acting like such a wuss. Anyway, yeah. So that's the name.
Nice. And even though you went through such an ordeal and it was so heavy and everything, everything turned out all right. It was all good. Kid's good now. He's all healthy and spry and doing good. Full head of hair.
He's got a lot of hair. Yeah. He's got a
Well,
lot
from the
of hair.
picture you sent me, he was born with the squig.
He was,
he had
yeah.
the full Elvis
He has
hair like you, right? Did he come out with mutton chops?
Dude, he has little sideburns. Yes, I comb him like specifically down. Like Raquel had him like back, and I'm like, no, give him his sideburns.
No, you
let the man have his hair.
You realize though he's going to be raised like a little princess though. It's gonna be the opposite of the Birdie effect with us. Because Birdie was just another one of the Lost Boys.
I know.
Yours is going to be another princess.
I know.
Right?
I know. Like, no, 100%.
That's going to be unavoidable.
100%.
Because also, like, little Sophie, she's very macho.
Yeah.
Kylan Haley, not macho at all. Very, very
well, Kylan
maybe a little
Kylan
bit. But
she likes the black. She likes the Batman.
Well, I wasn't counting that as very macho because she still loves, like, the girly stuff and all that.
Oh, that's true. To a degree, yeah.
So he's going to grow up, though, with the princess treatment.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna be a little prince.
He's gonna,
change his name to a symbol.
Oh, let's hope, man. Oh, what you figure? I heard a thing recently, like why someone theorized that he did that was like the artists like not owning their own likeness and not owning their own name. That Prince was told that they owned his name, and so he changed his name to a symbol. Yeah,
Interesting.
That's what they say now. Anyway, I heard that somewhere. I don't know. I might have just made that up. No, I heard it somewhere. I don't know if it's true.
I heard it from himself.
That's one of the little dark secrets I told myself.
Now, of the differences between, was there a difference in the way that you felt? I again know you would have been just as happy with another daughter, but was there a different feeling of now I have a son?
Definitely.
Was there
definitely a different gravitas to it,
right? Which I'm assuming there would be the same way because Dad said there was the same thing when he finally had a girl,
right? And
so
I think that would have been the case,
right? Exactly. Dad was like, I finally have a daughter,
exactly.
So for you, it was like, I have a son.
Yeah, I think so. Well, because 4 kids, like it's not quite as many as Mom and Dad had, but it's like
you have 5 now.
4 kids, and it's like girl, boy. It's different. It's different. Like, do I love him anymore? Maybe. No, just kidding. No, no, of course not.
Right.
But he's very special. Like all the kids are, and I know he's gonna be our last. So we're really trying to enjoy like every moment of it, and already his little face is getting that like not newborn face look. He's getting like that baby look.
He was such a softie.
Oh, dude, how can you not? How can you not? Well, I've always been this way though. I don't know. I love kids. I love
you always
babies and animals,
you always wanted to be a dad, and you always wanted to be a husband, and that was your That's the thing you always shot for in life. That's what you've always wanted to do, and what you've always wanted to be.
Oh, weird thing. I think I have a little bit of postpartum depression, which I don't know that was like a dad thing, but I also like gain weight for pregnancies. And like my back,
we'll say that's what it is.
My back will start hurting.
Right.
Like you have no idea what my body is going through, babe. No, but I was just a little bit down. I was like, I don't know really what it is. Like it's hard to pinpoint. But
okay. Is there anything that you're looking forward to in particular that will be different raising a son?
I think the style. I think it'll be cool to like do all like
push it up a little bit,
right? Well, and like a lot of the girls wear like like guy clothing too. Like Kylan likes pants and jackets and stuff like that. But just more of that, I think, will be cool. Like the other day, I had him in his we do cloth diapers, which are good, except for like you have to clean them. That part's not as great when you're cleaning a super poopy baby cloth diaper by hand, just wringing out the poop. It's like, how do you wash it without getting it on your hands? You don't. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I had him in one of his disposable little blue diapers, and he has this like snuggie that he wears. It's like a vest, and then it has like papoose pants, and then it has like 2 like wings that come out, and you fold one arm in to swaddle, and then the other arm in to swaddle, and then they look like a cute little burrito. Which I love swaddling. Not everybody swaddles. He doesn't love being swaddled, so I don't swaddle him as much as I like swaddled Wolfie, which Oh my goodness. I probably swallowed Wolfie too much, but it was like the only way, and she's a little wild woman, as you know. It was kind of one of the only way to like make her like go to sleep. Like she would just be fussy and whiny and everything else, unless she was swaddled. And so I would swaddle her and put a pacifier in her mouth, and she would go to sleep. But she started getting bigger, and she started like getting out of the swaddle, and as soon as she got out of the swaddle, that wasn't what she wanted. She'd get out of the swaddle and then she'd cry. I was like, put it back in the swaddle, and she'd be happy until she wormed her way out of it. So I would like swaddle her, and then I would wrap another blanket around there, and then loop that around to the bottom and tie that. I essentially put her in the freaking straight jacket for her to go to sleep, and then give her a pacifier. So cute, so cute. I love swaddling.
I'm picturing you like literally with like a baby straitjacket.
I wish I had one of those. It would have saved a lot of time. No, it was basically little baby blankets all swaddled and tied, and safe, of course. Like nothing by the neck or anything, you know. And I watch them like a hawk anyway. Like I never take my eyes off my kids. Like I'll be doing something, it's literally like a minute will pass, and I'll be like, have to check the baby, make sure they're breathing and they're doing their thing. But yeah, so as much as I love to swaddle him, he doesn't like to be swaddled. He's happier just with his arms free, I guess. Whatever, don't be swaddled then. But that one little jacket has like the swaddle things. So one day I had him in that, and it was a little hot in the house, and so I had unzipped it and taken his feet out. I think I did a diaper change, and that's when I put that disposable or reusable on him. And he was sitting there, dude, and he had this like jacket that looked like a long jacket because it had like the things, and he's just sitting there like he like owns the world in his little blue diaper. He's so cool. Like he looks so, and his hair with his little sideburns. He was so freaking cute. I cannot with that kid. I cannot. He's so freaking cute. I can't. He's so freaking cute. I love him. I'm gonna cry again. Oh,
that's another name. I'm kind of surprised they didn't use Elvis.
Oh,
I'm surprised they
should have thought about that. I said, dude, where were you? Throwing out names.
I threw out a lot of names.
Yeah, Joshua, Bam. No, no, Elvis would have been cool. I think Raquel might have suggested that, and I shot it down for some reason. Oh. But
Buck works. It's a good
strong
name. It's a good family
Buck.
name.
I think so too.
It's from your name.
Yeah, I think it fits a lot. All the way around.
And being your only son, having your name, I think that's cool.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Yeah. But yeah, the kids, the girls love him. He's already like you were saying, gonna be a little prince. He's already pampered. Like and Raquel is super.
I was gonna ask how well like the girls are like how they're behaving with the new little one.
They freaking love him. They love him. I was worried, there might be like that, like, oh, I'm not the baby anymore, hostility toward the baby thing.
Sophie loves to take care of all of them. I mean, Kylan does. They all seem to really love taking care of each other.
Yeah, they do. They do. They revel being,
and now little sisters. Freddie's not the baby anymore.
She literally said that, dude.
Oh, did she?
She literally said that. She's like, well, one day I came in from work and I was exhausted, and I plopped down on the bed. Trying to relax a little bit, and Winnie jumps up on my chest with both knees, grabs me by the face like this. It's like, I'm gonna be a big sister, and I'm like, yes, baby, yes, off of me, get off. So she's been excited from day one. Nice. And then she, yeah, which is awesome, and she, said that at one point. She's like, I'm not going to be the baby anymore. I'm going to have a baby. At that point, we didn't know, She's like, I'm going to have a baby sibling. Yeah, so they adore him. They adore him. And Kylan, cute little Kylan, she'll literally, well, she's a little bigger. She can actually like handle him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she'll put him in her arms and just really like mini mother him. And you feed him and burp him, and it's really cool. It's really cool. I didn't expect her to be one of the most nurturing, but she totally is. She's really taken to it. Yeah, and I didn't really expect that because she's never been one of those that likes to play with the baby dolls and is all about that, But she is a really good big sister, though, to all of her siblings. Like, She's great.
Well, I've
She's
seen
great.
her, like taking care of the other ones and running around. And,
Yeah.
Make sure they're have their shoes on. And
You're
all
right.
that, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
don't know.
I was playing tag out front of your place with all of them, and little Sophie was running around, and Kylan went in and got her shoes and came out, was putting them on. And,
Yeah. She takes care.
of course, then little Sophie was chasing Freddie around with the tissue, trying to wipe her nose.
Yeah.
Little Freddie always has a runny nose.
She
her nose
does
is,
always
I
have
think
a
she's
runny
growing out of
nose,
that
dude.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little
but,
bit. A little
almost
bit.
every time I've ever seen her, she has a runny nose. Her
It's
nose
true.
is always runny.
It's true.
And there's always one of the kids chasing her with a tissue.
This is true. Or she'll come up and use my shirt. Like,
Right. Hopefully she'll grow out of that.
Oh, one can hope.
She's the only one that I've seen that
Has that runny nose. Yeah.
problem.
When I wonder if that comes from our side of the family with mom, her that
be.
post nasal drip kind
Could be.
of.
Mom's always been bothered by allergies. And
I was
stuff
gonna say
like
could just be
that.
allergies, super
Could
bad
be.
allergies.
Mom's always had issues with those things, and you definitely got a lot of mom that you're passing on. So.
Thanks. Yeah, I noticed.
I've said it on several episodes of the podcast and stuff too. How much you remind me of. You said it.
Oh, thanks.
On one of the podcasts.
No, I
That
know.
when you're
I
running
do. I
around
take it.
chasing the kids.
What, yeah.
The way that you parent really reminds me of mom.
Yes. I mean, I like
Now, a
to
lot
think
of
it's
dad
a good.
shows through.
I was gonna say I like to think it's a good even mix. But I do find myself leaning toward the mom style.
You're very Mr.
You
Mom.
know. Yeah. Yeah. And nothing wrong with that.
No, you're a good parent.
It's great.
You're a good
It's,
parent.
I'm
proud of the parent that you are. I'm proud of how,
Well,
you raise
Thank
the kids,
you.
how much you love
I work
them, how
really
well
hard
you take
at it.
care of them, how hard you work.
Well, thank you.
I'm definitely proud of you, and I know Dad would be proud too.
Dude, thanks.
I know he was and would be very proud of you. And Dad would have loved to have met little Buck.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that he would definitely approve of the name and approve of everything that you're doing.
Well, thanks, bro.
And how you're doing it.
Thank you, bro.
So, good job, bro.
Thanks, man. Definitely trying.
All right, and I think that concludes another episode of Brown Overboard. All right, so thank you very much for joining us, guys, and we will see you next time on another episode of Brown Overboard. Say goodbye to the folks, Gabe.
Goodbye, folks.
All right, y'all guys respect the danger, and we'll see you next time.